privacy. So we'll jump into each one of those sections, run it one by one. Feel free to jump into the app and ask any questions along the journey that you like. But the first part of it really is that in the last 30 years, or in particular the last 10 years, and in more in particular the last 5 years, people have been very well educated and trained that they need to pay for storage. They hit these little tripwires all along the journey that says, you know, you've run out of storage on your Dropbox account or your Gmail account or whatever. So what we need to think about with our carrier email platforms is where do we put the tripwires, how do we place the tripwires, and how do we ensure that they're in the most profitable place for us. So if we think about the freemium model, the free to paid, the premium, it's a bit of a confusing one. But we found some really interesting data at Atmail, having run a few 100 million mailboxes around the world, is that 1 in 5 people will generally use more than the other 4. So there is a very significant tier jump. And then 1 in 20 people use a lot more. So there's 2 really interesting tripwires. Doesn't mean you don't only have to have 2. But if you think about it, the mail services that are in the world today, if you wanted unlimited storage, you can still go to Yahoo today and they give you a terabyte of storage. But that doesn't mean you have to offer a terabyte of storage for free. You can set it at a couple of gig, you can set it at a few 100 meg. It's completely up to you, but do make sure that you put the tripwires in place to make sure that they are getting commercialised. So how do we do that? So first part of the system is that we need to notify the user. So there needs to be some kind of notification message that pops up in their email client, whether they're using webmail or whether they're using an email client like a Mozilla or an Outlook as the most common one. So with that, we need to put an in-app message that says, hey, would you like to buy some more storage? That can be 2 gig, 10 gig, 50 gig, whatever you want to set the limit at. And obviously the pricing's up to you to set as well. Once you've done that, you're then going to need to talk to the billing system. So getting it integrated to the billing system is a key credential here. We don't want to ask the customer for their credit card details. We've already got that. So you've got a big advantage there that you've already got the billing information. You then need to circle back around to the email platform and say, I'd like to change the class of service for that person and say that person now has more storage in this case. And then close the loop with the person and say, hey, that transaction's now happened. So taking a leaf from the mobile book of an in-app transaction and thinking about email as being an in-app transaction, we need to notify, they need to select, we need to integrate to the billing system, we need to change the class of service and back around again. Pretty straightforward. So what can we expect from premium storage? Well, we can expect that, and I've used the numbers here of about $1 a mailbox is what I've used as a fully loaded service for a carrier to provide email. So that is whether you're running it on-premise or in the cloud, your help desk support costs, software, servers, running costs, etc. So customers we know have been well trained and educated to pay for additional storage. This is not anything new. We've got a couple of use cases here from a few carriers that we're close to. One carrier has a 10 gig offering that's been in market for many, many years, and they have a service ticket come in pretty much every day where a customer rings them or emails them and says, I've run out of storage. They go into the back end, they manually adjust the storage, they then go back and close the ticket and say thank you for being a loyal customer. So they don't have any billing integration, they have no ability to actually commercialise that. Another customer we have, funnily enough, has the same limit of 10 gig. When a customer writes in and says, I've run out of storage, they say, you should delete some email. They don't actually offer the upgrade at all. So it seems a bit crazy, right? So set the storage threshold limits, the tripwires if you like, and the pricing to suit your customers is a must. Streamline the process, make sure it's an in-app notification and make that a really smooth process. Don't ask for credit card, all that sort of good stuff. And one-click billing integration is absolutely the key to making this work. And the class of service system is actually the enabler. So your email service will need to have class of service capabilities so that we can now say that that one is class of service 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever that may be, to change the storage. You can expect that just the premium storage, and just using the numbers that I put up before of 1 in 5 people tripping a small wire, let's call that 99 cents, and 1 in 20 people clicking a bigger wire, let's call that $3, $4, $5, you can expect about 40% contribution towards your running costs of an email platform just by implementing those 2 tiers. Pretty compelling.